Air Force Chief of Staff, General John D. Ryan.
The Air Force demands that its personnel be physically capable of performing worldwide duty in a challenging environment. People are our most important resource. Developing and maintaining competence at the highest level is one of our most pressing responsibilities. As commanders, we are deeply concerned with the technical and professional qualifications of our people. We must have an equal concern for their physical well-being. We cannot separate command responsibility for ensuring technical competence from that of ensuring physical well-being. Excluding injuries, heart disease, particularly coronary heart disease, is a leading cause of death among active duty Air Force personnel. Medical authorities state that lack of regular physical exercise may be one of the significant factors contributing to this problem. Before accepting an exercise program to replace the 5BX, the Air Force completed an extensive field study evaluating a proposed physical fitness program based on aerobic exercises. The results of this study were favorable, and I have concurred with the acceptance of this program. This film explains the Aerobics physical fitness program and presents some of the benefits that may be derived from it.
You spend a lot of time keeping things in tip-top shape. Both at home and on the job. Things should be that way, in good working condition. You firmly believe that. Everything fit as a fiddle. Everything? Well, maybe not everything. You're pretty much concerned with the condition of things, and that's important in the Air Force as it is elsewhere. But how about you? Do you feel the same way about your condition? Well, sure you do. Don't you play with the squadron softball team in the summer? And the bowling team in the fall? And then there's fishing in the spring. And those outings in the park when the weather's nice. Don't they help you keep physically fit? Well, up to a point. But what does it mean to be physically fit? Is it just not being sick? Is it having large muscles? Is it being able to overdo it a little and still feel okay the next morning? It's a little more complicated than that. Recent studies by researchers have shown a high correlation between physical fitness and what is frequently called cardiovascular pulmonary fitness. This means adequate fitness of the heart, the blood vessels, and the lungs. Other studies have strongly suggested that increased physical activity tends to protect the individual against coronary heart disease, the disorder that frequently leads to heart attacks. The situation in the United States is serious. In Sweden, the heart attack death rate for men between the ages of 35 and 44 years is 19.9 deaths per 100,000 population per year. In the Netherlands, it is 33.4. In England, 57.4. And in the United States, 90.6 deaths from heart attacks occur each year for every 100,000 men. The U.S. leads the world in deaths from heart attacks, not only for men between 35 and 44, but for men and women of all ages. The most common type of heart attack is caused by an obstruction in one of the coronary blood vessels. When this happens, the blood supply is cut off, the muscle dies, and if the damage is extensive, the heart ceases to function. At times, a person may suffer a heart attack and yet have no obstruction in any of the arteries supplying blood to the heart. Such individuals respond to the stress of unaccustomed physical exertion or emotional shock by developing abnormal heart rhythms that occasionally may be fatal. In these cases, it appears that one factor is the release of massive amounts of adrenaline and other hormones. Recent studies suggest that physical activity reduces the danger of this type of reaction. The ability to respond to mission requirements is a foregone conclusion. Maximum effort may be required at a moment's notice. The scramble can be quite an exertion for a deconditioned crew member. In evasion and escape, the physically fit airman has a much better chance to escape from enemy territory than the deconditioned airman. In survival situations, the extra stamina that the physically fit person has developed could save his life. Even in off-duty situations, a high level of fitness may prevent a heart attack caused by physical overexertion. Pushing a stalled car, shoveling sand or snow, lifting heavy objects. Sudden shocks, however mild. A telephone ringing in the night. A near miss on the highway. Emotional shock can be just as fatal as physical overexertion or the obstruction of a coronary blood vessel, particularly for those in poor physical condition, those with poor cardiovascular reserves. When you consider that each year 2 million Americans suffer heart attacks and 600,000 of them die from the disease, the relationship between physical fitness and cardiovascular fitness becomes very important. So, as far as many of our serious health problems are concerned, physical fitness means cardiovascular fitness. And cardiovascular fitness can best be achieved and maintained by regular physical exercise. But not just any kind of exercise. Some exercises, although useful for muscular development, do not bring about significant improvements in the cardiovascular pulmonary systems. For that, you need exercises that cause you to huff and puff over an extended period of time. Some of the better ones are walking, running, cycling, swimming, stationary running, handball, basketball, tennis, and paddleball or squash. They are called aerobic exercises because they demand a large supply of oxygen as your heart and breathing rates reach and maintain a high level. Your blood carries oxygen to your body tissues, where it is used to produce energy for working muscles. As your aerobic condition improves, your lungs begin to process more air with less effort. The greater your capacity to utilize oxygen, the more energy, the more endurance, and the more vitality you will experience. There are other benefits that an aerobically conditioned person enjoys. His resting heartbeat is slower, frequently as much as 20 beats a minute slower than the deconditioned person. This saves thousands of heartbeats every 24 hours. Existing blood vessels become more resilient, and an improved blood supply develops throughout the body. Studies suggest that there may even be development of an increased blood supply to the heart muscle itself. In the event of an obstruction, such new alternate pathways could prevent a fatal attack and help make recovery more likely. During maximum exertion, the conditioned heart is a more efficient pump. It delivers more blood with each beat, and there is a greater rest period between beats. There is an increase in blood volume, which, among other things, aids heat acclimatization. Frequently, there is a decrease in blood pressure, especially in people who suffer from mild forms of high blood pressure. Aerobic exercises tend to reduce cholesterol and other body fats in the blood. They change fat pounds to lean pounds and also help reduce weight if accompanied by a proper diet. Scientific studies have shown that a person who is physically fit tends to experience less anxiety, less depression, fewer psychosomatic complaints, a better self-image, and more self-confidence. Air Force studies at Lackland showed that of those airmen who could run an 8-minute mile, most could also meet the minimum Air Force calisthenics requirements. But it didn't work the other way around. Over 40% of those who could perform the necessary calisthenics could not run the mile in 8 minutes or less. In other words, those who were muscularly fit were not necessarily aerobically fit. But those who were aerobically fit were almost invariably muscularly fit. Air Force laboratory tests have shown that a subject's ability to run a mile and a half in 12 minutes is an accurate indication of good physical fitness. Running a mile and a half in less than 10 minutes 15 seconds indicates excellent condition, whereas running a mile and a half in longer than 12 minutes indicates fair to very poor condition. By converting oxygen expenditure to points, it can be shown that running a mile and a half in less than 12 minutes earns you 7.5 points, and that 30 points a week would keep you in the good category of physical fitness. Of course, there is an adjustment for age. A mile and a half in 12 minutes is for men under 30 years of age. For men 30 to 34, a mile and a half in 12.5 minutes indicates a good level of fitness. For men 35 to 39, it's 13 minutes. For men 40 to 44, it's 13.5 minutes. For men 45 to 49, the time is 14 minutes. And for men over 50, it is 14 minutes and 30 seconds.
That sounds funny.
Physical fitness is part of the General Military Training Program outlined in Air Force Manual 50-15. Chapter 6 of this manual gives details for administering the program. Commanders are responsible for assuring the physical well-being of their personnel. They and their supervisors will see that the program is carried out as outlined in AFM 50-15. Each officer and airman is personally responsible for achieving the physical fitness and weight standards prescribed. Air Force Pamphlet 50-56 explains every step of the Air Force Aerobics physical fitness program and offers several plans to help you achieve and maintain a high level of physical fitness. Get a copy and read it carefully before you begin. Follow the pamphlet closely. But Don't rush out and overextend yourself, especially if you're not in condition. It is important to start your program and build slowly, as shown in Air Force Pamphlet 50-56. There is no such thing as a cram course in physical fitness. Getting yourself into condition through the Air Force Aerobics physical fitness program is largely a self-motivated, self-monitored effort. Although personal guidance is available when you need it, it is primarily your responsibility to maintain a satisfactory level of physical fitness. Select one of the aerobic exercises or mix them up, but be sure to keep a record of your physical activity on your aerobics personal progress chart. This will help you keep track of the number of points you earn and will serve as a helpful record, both during initial conditioning and as you continue the program. Smoking will definitely affect your progress and performance in this exercise program. Tests with incoming airman basics showed that those who never smoked surpassed the smokers in the 12-minute test at the beginning of training and greatly increased their performance over the smoking group by the end of training. The test showed that as long as you smoke as few as 10 cigarettes a day, you cannot expect to reach your maximum performance. Weight control is an integral part of physical fitness. Health problems are frequently associated with excessive weight. Obesity increases the likelihood of complications such as high blood pressure, heart conditions, kidney disease, and diabetes. As part of the physical fitness program, you will be weighed semi-annually and will be expected to keep your weight within the limits outlined in the Aerobics Physical Fitness Pamphlet. Commanders will evaluate their personnel twice a year to determine their level of physical fitness. Testing twice a year is desirable because individuals tend to become deconditioned if the interval is longer. If a track is not available at your installation, there are many other places to exercise. Unused runways, hangars, paved roads, golf courses, or any other surface suitable for running. In remote areas where suitable facilities are not available, or where weather conditions prohibit the running test, stationary running may be substituted. Check the Aerobics Physical Fitness Pamphlet for requirements. Regarding physical fitness, President Kennedy once said, "Physical fitness is not only one of the most important keys to a healthy body, it is the basis for dynamic and creative intellectual activity." The relationship between the soundness of the body and the activities of the mind is subtle and complex. Much is not yet understood, but we do know what the Greeks knew, that intelligence and skill can only function at the peak of their capacity when the body is healthy and strong, and that hardy spirits and tough minds usually inhabit sound bodies.
Basically, the Air Force consists of people and equipment. Both must be in top condition to perform effectively. Accordingly, I ask that all levels of command support the aerobics program and allow participation during duty hours whenever practical to ensure that we achieve the benefits that can result. In return, I expect each of you to put forth an honest effort to develop and maintain good physical condition so that we can do the best possible job in fulfilling Air Force worldwide mission requirement.